So you're thinking about living in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, and why not?
Why not?
What a great day to be at the Frontier Culture Museum right here in Staunton, Virginia. So hang around to the end of this video because we're going to show you what's inside the Frontier Culture Museum, and we're going to show you some styles of homes here in the Staunton and Waynesboro area. But we're going to go ahead and get started right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, sleeping, eating, playing, everything here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, well, what should they do, Leslie?
They should ring that bell and subscribe.
That's right. Touch that bell icon, subscribe to our channel, and we'll be happy to help let you know about all the current real estate market information here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys. By way of introduction, if you haven't seen me before, my name's Stephen.
And I'm Leslie.
And we get phone calls and emails every day from folks just like you and you and you who are looking to make a move to Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys or looking to sell a home here in Virginia's mountains and valleys, and we absolutely love it.
We do.
So whether you're looking to move in
9 days or 90,
just pick up the phone and give us a call. Shoot us a text, send us that email. That information's all in the description down below, and we'll be happy to help you sell your home or make your move here in Virginia's mountains and valleys as smooth as possible. Now, like I said, today we are at the Frontier Culture Museum. This is one of Leslie's favorite places here in Staunton because it's just another place where there's so much history. And this is not only just history, but it's
living history, and there's demonstrators here. So I love going up and talking to them and letting them demonstrate what they do, whether it's the blacksmith or the cook, or you'll see.
Yeah, and understand at one time here in the Shenandoah Valley, this was the frontier.
This was it.
Back in the early days of the colonies, and so this is a great grouping of different nationalities and peoples, and Native Americans and Germans and English and Dutch, all sorts of different housing and different ways of living here in this area, and how it all worked back in the colonial days. So come on along for the ride. We're going to go ahead, like I said, we're going to show you some of the things that are inside here, and then we're also going to take you into some neighborhoods here in Waynesboro and Staunton, and we're going to show you 3 distinct styles of homes. So come along for the ride.
You're not going to want to miss out on this.
All right, today we're at the English house. Sally, what can you tell us about this house?
I would be happy to. This house comes from Worcestershire, England, in the West Midlands of England, and a yeoman farmer and his wife and children lived in this house. And they had several sources of income. One, they grew grains like wheat, barley, rye, and oats. They also had about 100 sheep to shear twice a year. And I will show you some of the not clean wool. This is some wool. They would be some from our Cotswold sheep. So they would be shearing about 100 sheep twice a year and selling the fleeces. And the third source of income is from our cheese. And that is what you're going to be making, and you're going to be milking 15 to 30 milking cows and making that cheese and selling that at fairs. And this is a very nice house. This person living here, as I mentioned, a yeoman farmer, means you're hardworking and successful. And he was doing very well.
All right, thank you, Sally, for showing us this amazing English home. So in a second, Stefan's going to be showing you another architectural style of home here in Staunton.
But before we go to that home, it's time for some historical humor, or at least some might say it's humor.
Hey Leslie, what's in the bucket?
Way.
No way!
Way.
So the next home that I'm going to show you is an American architectural style that was very popular in the early 1900s, from about 1900 to 1930. That is the Craftsman-style home. Craftsman architecture was very popular in California and in the Midwest, and it spread across the country thanks in a large part to an American furniture designer by the name of Gustav Stickley, with his magazine that he published called The Craftsman. Frank Lloyd Wright had a specific influence on Craftsman homes as well, and today there are 4 basic styles of Craftsman homes. You're going to find the bungalow, the prairie, the mission, and the foursquare style Craftsman home. And now within these styles, you're going to find some of the following characteristics. You're going to find low-pitched gable roofs, which are the triangular-shaped roofs. You're going to find overhanging eaves with exposed rafters and beams, heavy tapered columns on the front of a covered porch that are tapered from the bottom to the top. Inside a Craftsman home, you're going to see that they're built to be very simplistic, functional, cozy, homey, and very warm inside. The use of woodwork and built-ins in Craftsman houses are very popular in Craftsman homes. So I'm going to turn around here because I'm off to the side, but I want to show you a Craftsman house right now. And so we'll take a look at that right now. Probably most common to the bungalow form. This particular house is currently on the market. It's been all remodeled inside. It's on the market for $384,000. It was built about that time. It was built in 1934. It has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. It has 2,067 square feet of finished living space, of which 1,378 is above ground. If you break that down, that's about $187 a square foot. And the nice thing about it is it sits on over an acre lot, 1.08. So, but again, you look at some of the characteristics of the home, the front porch, the tapered columns, a classic example of several of the features of a Craftsman-style home.
Okay, Kara, so where exactly are we today?
Well, you are actually on our Irish farm, and we're just trying to give you an idea of how a family would have lived in this house over in Ireland back about 1750. And the home actually comes from a little town in County Tyrone, and pretty much this room would have been everything to our family. You would have cooked in here, you would have taken meals in here, people did work in here, and people slept in here. But it's a very nice little home. It is certainly something that people have to rent. You didn't actually own it. And because the rent is going up and because income is not very good in the linen industry, it's causing a lot of people to rethink staying in Ireland, and some of these folks are thinking about moving on to America.
Thank you, Kara, for giving us a little brief history of this
You're welcome.
amazing house. In a minute, though, Stefan's going to take us into Staunton and show us another house and explain some of the characteristics and the architecture about it. So stay tuned.
And once again, it's time for another short episode of Historical Humor.
Hey Leslie, what you got there?
Pete,
What else you got there?
Pete,
Wait a minute, that's Pete?
repeat,
Repeat. What's that again?
Pete.
Very good, very good. The style home that I want to show you here in this neighborhood is the French provincial style. This architectural style was popularized with Louis XIV's Versailles Palace in the 15 and 1600s. The word provincial can often mean unsophisticated. However, true French provincial homes are anything but simple. The characteristics of these homes, when I show you a home up here in just a second, the characteristics of these homes include brick or stone facades, steeply pitched and sloping roofs, high arched windows. Usually they have a balanced, symmetrical proportions, and if they have a second story in them, many times they have tall second story windows that are often arched. Inside a true provincial home, the interiors are simple yet elegant. They're typically softer with curved lines, lots of texture, materials like linen, wood, and sometimes wrought iron and stone. They're similar to some of the modern farmhouses looks today that you'll see in this type of a build. Many of the homes in the United States today are considered revivals of the originals, and there was a surge back to building these in the 1920s through the 1960s, but you're still going to see this type of home today. And I'm going to walk right up the street here, and I'm going to show you one that is, matter of fact, it just sold here on the market, and see if you can pick out some of the styles. Although not a perfect French provincial house with every characteristic, it has many of those characteristics. So the home that you see behind me, as you can see, it has multiple of these characteristics: the sloping roofs, the balanced symmetrical features of a French provincial home. This house is brand new. It was just built, finished this year. As a matter of fact, you can see they're still probably doing some work on the house as well. The listing price for this particular property was $690,000. It has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and it has a total of 3,471 square feet of finished living space, and that's all above ground there in the 2 stories that you see here. If you break that down, that particular price is about $199 a square foot, and it sits on a ½ acre of land. But again, a modern idea and a modern picture of what a French provincial home looks like. Maybe that's something that you're interested in. If so, I'd be happy to help.
So where are we?
You are looking at our German house at the museum. This house is from the town of Hort in the Rhineland-Pfalz region of southwestern Palatinate, which would be modern-day Germany. If you have a chance to walk through this house at the museum, it's pretty large compared to some of our other houses, but you might have upwards of 20 family members living in a house like this. So this room of the house, the Anbau, is set up as a tailor shop, which would be a additional source of income for the family. What I'm sitting on here is what's called a tailor's board. It's pretty common in the tailoring world. You would sit on here Schneidersitz, which is pretty much crisscross applesauce. Schneide means tailor, and sitz is sits. And you could have about 8 people up here sewing together. So it'd be a great source of additional income for a family out here in the Palatinate.
That is great. Thank you for explaining a little bit about this. It's a larger house than most of them here in the museum. This is the 3rd house we've been able to view here in the museum, and there are so many more. So I hope you all are able to come out here and take a look at the grounds here and all of the homes, all of the trades that are featured here at the Frontier Culture Museum. So we're going to skedaddle over to Waynesboro.
But first, one final piece of historical humor.
So what are you doing?
I'm schnitzel sitting.
No! You're not eating schnitzel. Schneider shit. Schneider
sits.
I said it wrong. So the house that you see behind me here in the Baldwin Place neighborhood is a classic example of a Williamsburg style property, as are all of the homes here in the Baldwin Place neighborhood, making it a very desirable neighborhood to get into. The particular home that you see behind me recently sold for $610,000. It was built in 1997. It has 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and 2 half baths. It has 3,803 square feet of finished living space, which is all above ground. If you break that down, that's only $160 a square foot, and it sits on a 0.39 acre lot. And you can see a lot of the classical architectural style, like I say, of a Williamsburg home. And in this neighborhood, the homes all have copper flashing and downspouts as well, and wooden roofs, and just a lot of neat features here in the Baldwin Place neighborhood. So this is probably just a great place to go ahead and wrap up the video. We're here still in Baldwin Place on their beautiful village circle here with the beautiful gazebo that they have behind me on this beautiful lawn. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's maybe given you a little bit of an idea, at least the 3 types of homes that we've talked about. And of course, there's many others as well. And I hope that you've enjoyed seeing the Frontier Culture Museum here in Staunton, Virginia. And just a really neat place to visit and learn about all the homes that are there as well. And so, but like I say, if you're interested in selling your home or purchasing a home, Leslie and I would be more than honored to help. We get phone calls all the time from folks that are looking to buy or looking to sell, and we absolutely love to help those folks. So whether you're looking to move soon or later, 9 days or 90 days, as we say, just give us a call and we'd be happy to help. But like I always say, from beautiful Baldwin Place here, until next time, we'll see you around town. Yes, here she comes, ladies and gentlemen. coming across the parking lot here, flyer in hand. Oh, she's hiding. Oh, here she comes. Around the corner. Look out. There she is. Oh.